Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. David J Coon with Qigong Awareness. Qigong meaning the skilled cultivation of universal life force or energy. Awareness, the same as consciousness or higher consciousness, or what is sometimes called the watcher or the observer. This comes back to the essence of who you are, your true nature. These are all words used to describe who you are. So, who are you? Are you the physical body? Well, yes, in part, but do you exist beyond the physical body? You'll find in time, so to speak, or outside of time, depending on how we get into that. But you'll find out, okay? And you'll discover, like I did when I was, I don't know, early 20s, and receiving energetic work, healing work, body work, and leaving my body and sort of becoming an energy body floating up to the not the ceiling but the roof and looking back down upon my body, etc. And then going through years of follow-up years of experience of not only metaphysical catharsis, healing my body, healing the spinal disease, healing a panic disorder, awakening my heart chakra. If you haven't heard those stories, go back and listen to the previous episodes. But in that, there was an experience of becoming free. And in that freedom, as I sort of freed that up, then I started having visions and memories. It was like knowledge and information coming back to me. Memories of China, memories of Tibet, memories of just energetic experiences, and the realization that I'm not just a physical human being, I am a soul. All right. So I said I was going to talk about the pandemic a little bit in this one and at least reference it. Okay. We're in a pandemic. If you didn't know, okay, there's a pandemic going on. Okay. There is a tiny, 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 tiny microscopic organism that is attacking people's lungs. All right. Wow, there's so much I could say on this topic, and perhaps I will in future episodes. I'm going to keep it simple for today, and I'm going to say this. Look, the pandemic is bringing about a lot of fear, and there's a lot of people capitalizing on that fear, and therefore pushing the fear card, okay? It's like scaring people into buying Levi's jeans, all right? I'm not saying there's not a reality to the virus, but here's the thing to understand about fear, okay? Learn it today. Don't ever forget it. I highly recommend it, okay? Fear, and it took me a lot of years to figure this out, okay? So, but I'm going to give it to you in a nutshell. Fear is not what it appears to be. Repeat after me. Fear is not what it appears to be. Fear seems to be there's this thing happening. I'm afraid of this thing happening, a bad thing that might happen in my future. I'm afraid that it's going to happen. So it's an anticipation of the future, right? The future is bringing something scary. And I'm really afraid about that thing. It doesn't matter what it is. Okay. It could be the virus. It could be you can't pay your rent. It could be a disease that your doctors are going to tell you on Tuesday or Wednesday whether you live or die. Okay, this kind of idea. All right, it's over here in the future. Here's the thing about fear. Fear seems to be this experience that you're having because this bad thing over here is either A, going to happen, or B, it might happen, right? Well, take a deep breath for a moment. Actually, breathe in. Take a deep breath. Try. Exhale your breath first. Go, ah. Then try and take a breath in. As we breathe in, we actually get more energy. We get more chi. We get more oxygen. It wakes us up a little bit. It actually causes our awareness to come up a little bit higher in the chakra ladder. Little tiny bit. All right. So that's why I ask you to take a breath, okay? Fear is an attractive force. If you, and I know it's hard to not do, so I want to teach you how to not do it, okay? In fact, I already am, but again, I can't teach you in one video, okay? It's going to take some time. It's going to take some training. It's going to take a little bit of courage, a little bit of trust, okay? A little bit of desire, a little bit of willpower, okay? But fear is an attractive force over time. You would be wise to get your mind around the idea that a little bit of fear might be good. If you're doing, I don't know, you're going and doing a martial arts tournament this weekend, or you're going to go rock climb. You know, a little bit of fear is good for you. They even say, and they've done tests, you're going in to take an exam, a little bit of fear, a little bit of stress. You're going in to do public speaking, a little bit of fear, a little bit of stress. It's good for you. And guess what? It's free energy. It's like a little bit of adrenaline. You get to go in there, and if you can master that adrenaline, you can use it. Okay, but that's like using fear constructively. Right now, what I'm talking about is how fear just kind of gets in the brain and gets in the mind and then it starts running through the body. And a lot of times, by the way, you're not even aware of the thoughts that led to the fear in the first place. But maybe now you have an image here, right? Whatever the image is, some diagnosis or some you can't pay the rent, you're not really sure where your next job is coming from, whatever the thing is, right? So you obsess on the negative. This negative thing might happen. This negative thing might happen. I did that for years. I finally started realizing fear is an attractive force. It's an energy. And it brings this other thing over here that I'm afraid of closer to me. And by the way, the universe is kind. Here's one of the ways you know it's kind. Rarely does the worst case scenario ever happen. Okay. In rare instances, it does happen, you know, but there are reasons for that. I got to keep it simple though here for now. Let's just say very rarely does your worst case scenario ever unfold to the degree that you thought it would, especially if you see it through. A lot of people might even commit suicide because they literally cannot see through this situation. But like the samurai before me, if there's a battle and I have fear, one of the things I love about the path of the samurai, for example, is that they get themselves to that place of fearlessness. I'm going into battle. Battle's going to happen. But I'm going to go into battle. I have this sword, but there may be other people who have swords and whatever else they have. And this is more of a metaphor because I don't believe in battle, right? All right. I'm more along the lines of an aspiring Buddha. So I don't believe in battle. But there's the illusory battle, the battle that goes on in our mind, the fear that goes on in our mind, etc. And you have to draw, as we do sometimes in the practices that I teach you during Qigong class and so on Thursdays and other times, some of the webinars, the online courses, to pull out that imaginary sword and literally find that power in your body as if you are wielding a sword, okay? And cut through that fear and cut, again, many ways to cut through, dissolve, alchemize the fear. This is another example of one way of doing it. Sometimes you have to pull out the sword, you have to cut the fear in half. Sometimes you have to breath of fire to get yourself out of the state of fear. And check this out, guys, if you're not doing it already, sometimes, guess what? You have to take out the sword and cut your TV in half, okay? Don't really cut your TV in half, but turn the thing off. Because all this crap that's going on that they tell you that's going on in the world, at least some of the time, okay? Forget about what's supposedly going on in the world, okay? Because the world at the moment is in chaos, has been actually for a long time, all the way back to the time of Jesus and Buddha and so on. It's been in chaos for a long time. There are warmongers on the planet. There are people who, if you put on a sign that says "kick me," they will come and they will kick you. You can even get online and say, "I want someone to choke me to death." And you know, I don't know if you've heard about these stories, you know, from the FBI or whatever it is on you listen to YouTube, but like people literally go on and say, "Hey, I want you to come kill my wife, and I want to watch," or "I want to," all these crazy, insane things that you can't even imagine happening on the dark web. Anyway, point is, the world is crazy on the level that it is. But there are people who desire to be sane. There are people who desire to transcend fear. Yours truly. Okay. People who desire to become more and more fearless. Again, yours truly. Okay. Written about, talked about in my book, Qigong for Beginners, Your Path to Greater Health and Vitality. Okay. Many other books I could turn you on to as well. Many other teachings I can turn you on to as well. But here's the thing. The last video I talked about your energy going out, your energy going out, your energy going out, your energy going out, distraction, watch the news, etc. In some of the previous videos, I talked about how every single thing you do, and this is what I talk about in chapter 1, chapter 2, every single thing that you do either adds to your energy system or it takes away from it. So we have to be very careful. We have to be very mindful. If we want to rebuild our energy, imagine if you became a Buddha, okay? Metaphor of a Buddha. You became a Christ. You became a healer. You became a helper. You became an awakened guru. You became somebody special, important, a saint, whatever, right? You took your life and you turned into Mother Teresa, okay? You have any idea how much one person can change the world? You may not, but look at Mother Teresa. Look at the Dalai Lama, etc., etc., etc. Look at Tony Robbins, okay? I could go on. If you could change and transform your life, who would you be? What would you be doing? How would you be helping the world? But check this out. If you're too busy watching the news and you're always terrified, if you're too busy with your mind distracted so many other directions, you don't know whether you should do Qigong or you should do Kung Fu or you should do yoga or you should just go do the Dr. Joe Dispenza thing or you should go do the next heart math thing, or you should go do this other training over here, that training over there, this discipline over here, that martial art over there, go back to school for psychology or take hypnotherapy or, oh my God. And meanwhile, you're watching the news and meanwhile, you don't have a job. Look, man, dude, dudette, dudes and dudettes, you gotta get a handle on yourself and you got to get a handle on your mind and you got to take back your energy and you got to start to harness it, because when you harness it, you start filling your cup. The cup in this case is a metaphor for your physical body and your physicality. And when you begin to fill the cup with chi, with energy, with prana, with ki, and it starts building up, building up, building up, building up, guess what else builds up? Energy and awareness go together. Chi and awareness go together. Awareness comes down the chakra ladder. I showed that already. And awareness does what? The gurus call it falling asleep. What have you fallen asleep into? What the hell are they talking about? They're talking about falling into your habits. They're talking about falling into your patterns. They're talking about believing and falling into the sleep and the hypnotic trance that you don't have any say in your life, that you're a victim of circumstances, that you can't change things. Well, guess what? I said this about chapter 3 in the last episode. I'm saying it again. Guess what? No energy, no power to change anything. So number one, what do you got to do? It's my Qigong. It's not just any form of Qigong. No offense to anybody else. There are some good forms of Qigong out there, but I'm not teaching you those forms. I'm teaching you this form of Qigong, and I'm teaching you this is one of the issues, perhaps, I could just say it like this quickly, like one of the issues that I have with certain disciplines and so on. Some of you know this about me already. I'm like Bruce Lee, okay? Absorb what's useful. Have no limitation as limitation. I'm like Jiddu Krishnamurti on the level that I am, in that I don't believe in systems, okay? I have a program, for example, certified Qigong instructor, certified medical Qigong practitioner, so that you actually have something to hang your hat on. You have a curriculum, okay? You have something that you can do with that. But anybody who knows me, some people who meet me, they'll say, what should I call you? Should I call you Master? Should I call you Sifu? Should I call you David? I say, you can call me any one of those. Mainly just David, okay? Here's the thing. I'm my own master. I'm not interested in you being my master. I'm not interested in me being your master. I'm not interested in the wardrobe. There are certain wardrobes I wear. I wear my Kung Fu uniform, my Qigong uniform, my Taekwondo uniform because it's meaningful to me, okay? But I don't ask everybody to fall in line and follow me around and bow to me and all this other stuff, okay? So that's okay. It comes with certain cultures, certain teachers do it, etc. But my main point is, because I'm not dismissing any of that, I do that at certain schools, bow to my, grandmaster or whatever the case may be, and that's all good and fine. My point is, I don't want you to get lost in that. And I'm not here looking for disciples on that level. I'm looking to teach you how to master yourself, master your mood, master your speech, master your fear, etc., etc., etc. The first place I start with in my book, chapters 1, 2, and 3, you got to harness your energy. You got to realize that the other stuff is distraction. And you got to realize that fear will suck you dry. Notice the pause on that. Fear will suck the life out of you. And look, if you're going to sit there and watch, let's just look at it for just a brief moment from a psychology standpoint, psychological psychology standpoint, okay? We take you, we put you in a room. Doesn't matter where it is, what it is. Just imagine a room, okay? So we're going to do an experiment. We're going to put you in the room. We're going to turn on the computer. We're going to turn on the TV. And for 3 days, the only thing you're going to do is watch horror movies. 3 days, horror movies. You're going to watch horror movies for 3 days. Let me ask you a question. What do you think that's going to do to your hormone system? Your hormones, your stress hormones, your fight or flight hormones, etc., etc. What do you think it's going to do? Okay? It's going to wreck your body. What if we give you some popcorn and some Coca-Cola to sit there and eat for 3 days? That's the only food you get. Popcorn and Coca-Cola, and you're watching horror movies. What do you think your psychology is going to be like after 3 days? If you had some training and you had some skill, okay? I have some training and some skill. I could go in there and I could eat all that and I could do all that. It would still wreck my body on the level that it would, but I'd come out better than the average person because the average person is literally hooked up so quickly by negativity. They see the tiniest bit of negative, or especially if they see somebody killing somebody or whatever, right? It immediately sets off their fight or flight. They're going to have a really hard time sitting there and keeping their fight or flight calm and relaxed while they're watching a horror movie. Okay? All right. So let's say for 3 days now, instead of putting you in that room, we put you in a room where for 3 days, all we're doing is showing you funny movies. All we're doing is showing you this person helped this person, this African American person helped this Chinese person helped a Caucasian person, these two Caucasian people in a random act of kindness uplifted this African American person who was doing X, Y, and Z. On and on, okay? On and on. People helping people, older people helping younger people helping older people. You know, when the riots were going on here in Wilmington, which weren't as bad as some places, right? But in Wilmington, North Carolina, but when the quote unquote riots were going on, there was some rioting and so on going on in the city, right? I was literally 2 miles up the street from that, okay? And I watched um, a Caucasian male with a broken down car in the middle of an intersection and the traffic's all trying to go around him and everything else. I watched him get assistance from an African American male and they were trying to figure out the problem together, okay? And meanwhile, up the street, there's this whole thing, this African American thing, black and white thing, whatever, all going on down in the city, right? And here's these two guys. I'm like, why is this not on the news? Imagine if we just film that and put it on the news all the time. So look, don't expect journalists and other people who sell fear for a living. Okay, they sell fear. Nah, I'm not even judging them. It's just a fact. They sell fear. That's how they get people engaged. That's how TV shows get hook you. They go, this person screwed this person, and now we're gonna hang them. And you go, oh man, I gotta watch that show, right? Hopefully some of you are beyond that, but some of you may still be stuck in that. Okay? It's all right, it is what it is. Just notice it. Why do you need to see that? When I was younger, I watched all the shoot 'em up movies, all the beat 'em up movies, the Chuck Norris, everybody killed my family and now I'm going to go back and kill them, the Rambo movies, the Steven Seagal movies, like, and granted I have a martial art background, right? So I like the martial art in it, but I don't even watch those anymore. I don't watch them. I'm not interested. I don't want to see somebody needs to shoot somebody else. Okay? I was bullied. I was picked on. I had issues within my own family, let alone what I had in the high school and what I had out there in the world. Okay, getting picked on and bullied and beat up and different things that went on for me. So here's the thing, I'm over it. I'm over it because I realized I'm not a victim. It starts with harnessing your own energy. It starts with turning off the news. It starts with putting away the Dorito bag. And it starts with you doing something. And not just once, because it ain't going to freaking work. You're going to have to do it for 365 days. And that's the other reason I'm knocking out these videos in my spare time, just like I knocked out my book in my spare time, literally staying up in the wee hours of the night because I was traveling, teaching seminars and everything else, and I didn't have time to write it during the day. I thought to myself, when am I ever going to get to write a book? So you know what? I just stopped sleeping. Okay? It took its toll on the level that it did, but hey, I'm recouping the energy now. Okay? So sometimes you got to do that. You go to the gym, you kick your own ass, you do some hard work, you some hard labor, you practice Qigong for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is. You come to a online workshop on a Saturday for 5 hours, like this upcoming Saturday, to a Wei Qi seminar, learning how to ward off things that you don't want and protect your immune system. And you train for 5 hours. You're going to be tired on Sunday. You can be tired on Monday. You can be tired even on Wednesday. But come the following weekend, come 2 weeks later with some rest, boom, your energy goes like this. So, when are you going to make the investment? You don't need to answer me. Answer yourself. When are you going to make the investment? When are you going to make the time? When are you going to realize how important it is for you to invest in yourself and your energy? Turn that news off, put the Dorito bag away, and do something in your life that's going to make a difference 6 days, 6 months, or 6 years from now. Okay? I love you for trying. Failure is part of the gig. Fail, 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 rest, get stronger. Fail, 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 rest, get stronger. Say it again. Fail, 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 rest, get stronger. Fail again, fail again. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid of fear. Fail, fail, but try. And don't just try, do, do, do. Just do it. Just do it. 1 day, 2 days, 30 days, 60 days, 120 days. Go online right now and purchase on my website. And that's not just me pitching. This is me telling you. Go on to the website and purchase 21-day Qigong challenge. 10 minutes a day, only 10 minutes a day. Practice the Qigong 10 minutes a day. If you miss a day, just go back and practice it again the following day. 21 days in a row. You've got to gain some momentum. Take back your power. Energy equals power. Read the book. Don't set it down. Don't read it. Forget about it for 6 months. Read it, read it, read it, read it, read it. Tune into it. Turn off the news. Put away the Dorito bag. Thanks, guys. See ya in the next episode.